Ladies and gentlemen, you ever find yourself in a place where everything feels uncertain, where the road ahead looks like a maze with no clear direction? You know that feeling, that deep, unsettling sense that you're lost. Maybe it's a job, a relationship, or even just where you are in life. You wake up, and it's like you're just floating, unsure of where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do, or who you're supposed to be. It's frustrating, isn't it? It feels like you're drifting, like there's a purpose, a goal out there somewhere, but you just can't see it. Well, let me tell you something. Stop feeling lost. Right now, in this moment, you have everything you need. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you're not where you need to be, that the path ahead is too complicated, too full of obstacles. But I'm here to remind you that feeling lost isn't a place, it's a mindset. It's a state of mind that you can change. You can shift your perspective. And I want you to understand that being lost is not the end of your story. It's just a chapter, and you don't have to stay in that chapter forever. See, life is never going to give you a straight path. That's not how it works. The path to success, to fulfillment, to peace, to whatever it is you're striving for is never a straight line. It's not easy. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it, right? But what sets those who succeed apart from those who quit, those who feel lost and stay lost, is a single thing: resilience. It's the willingness to keep going when the map looks like it's upside down, when the compass won't point in the right direction, and when it feels like the whole world is against you. Resilience means that you get up when you fall down. It means you keep moving even when you're unsure of where the next step will take you. And that's the thing. You don't have to have it all figured out. No one does. There's no magic blueprint to life. No one gets handed the map and says, here, this is how you're going to get there. You're not supposed to have all the answers. But you're supposed to keep going. You're supposed to push through when it feels impossible. You're supposed to keep your eyes on the horizon, not on your feet, not on the obstacles, not on the obstacles, not on the fear. So what do you do when you feel lost? You stop running from it. You stop pretending it doesn't exist. It's okay to feel confused. It's okay to feel uncertain, but it's not okay to let that stop you. You have to sit with that feeling, face it, and then tell it that it's not in control of your life. You have control. You may not know where you're going, but you can choose to keep moving forward. When you're lost, the world seems overwhelming. You look around and all you see are signs telling you where you should be, what you should be doing. Everyone else seems to have it figured out, right? You see people climbing the ladder, getting their breaks, succeeding. You see social media posts, and you feel like you're falling behind. But here's the truth. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. It's okay to be in the process. It's okay to be in the middle of figuring things out. The key is to keep moving, to keep working, even when the destination is unclear. Every step forward is progress. And every step forward is one step closer to where you need to be, even if that place isn't what you expected it to be. Here's the thing. Life will throw challenges your way. That's guaranteed. Things will happen that you didn't plan for, and obstacles will appear that seem bigger than you ever imagined. But do you know what those obstacles really are? They're opportunities. Opportunities to learn. Opportunities to grow. Opportunities to become stronger, smarter, and more resilient. When you feel lost, it's not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you're learning, that you're in the process of figuring things out. And every failure, every setback is part of the growth. Embrace the struggle, because without it, you wouldn't have the strength to face what's ahead. Now, I know it's easy to get caught up in the negatives, to let fear and doubt consume you. But you can't afford to let those feelings define you. Fear is a liar. Doubt is a liar. They'll tell you that you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, that the odds are against you. But you know better. You've been through tough times before, and you've come out stronger. You've faced challenges, and you've survived. So why would this time be any different? It won't be. You have everything inside of you that you need to get through this. You've got a fire in you. You've got strength that you haven't even begun to tap into. So stop listening to that voice in your head that tells you you're lost. You're not lost. You're just in the process of becoming who you were always meant to be. You may not know exactly where you're going, but that's okay. The journey is more important than the destination. When you're lost, it's not a sign to quit. It's a sign that you need to trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust that everything you need is already inside of you, waiting to be unlocked. The pieces will come together. You just need to stay the course. And don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. Nobody does it alone. You don't have to figure everything out by yourself. There are people around you, people who have walked this path before, people who have the wisdom and experience to guide you. Don't be too proud to reach out. Don't let pride stand in the way of growth. If you're lost, there's nothing wrong with admitting it and seeking the support you need. Sometimes we get so focused on the end goal that we forget to appreciate where we are right now. Look at the progress you've already made. Look at how far you've come. Yes, you may not be where you want to be yet, but you're not where you used to be either. Every day you take one step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you want to become. And in those small steps, in those moments when it feels like nothing is changing, trust that change is happening inside of you. Trust that the work you're putting in now will pay off in ways you can't yet see. When you stop feeling lost, you start realizing something powerful: you are enough. You are enough right where you are with what you have in this moment. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need to wait for someone to tell you that you're ready. You don't need to wait for the stars to align. You just need to take the next step, no matter how uncertain or unclear it seems. Just move. Keep moving. And if you stumble, good. If you fall, even better. That's part of it. Don't be afraid to fall, because falling isn't failure. Falling is a chance to rise stronger. Every time you fall, you learn. Every time you struggle, you grow. And when you stand back up, you do so with more experience, more wisdom, and more strength than you had before. You're not lost. You're in the middle of something great. You just can't see it yet. But one day you will look back and you will understand. This journey, this feeling of being lost, was never meant to be a destination. It was meant to be part of the process. So stop feeling lost. It's not about having all the answers right now. It's about trusting that the path will unfold in its own time. And that despite everything that feels uncertain, despite all the doubts and fears, you are exactly where you need to be. Right here, right now. Keep going. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, but feeling lost is not a sign of failure. It's an opportunity to grow. The key to overcoming uncertainty is resilience, continuing to move forward, even when the destination is unclear. You don't need to have it all figured out right now. The journey is more important than the destination, and progress often comes in small, unnoticed steps. Trust that with each step, you're getting closer to your purpose. Fear and self-doubt can make you feel lost, but they are deceptive. You already have everything inside you to succeed. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from moving forward. Your strength and ability to overcome challenges are already within you. Every challenge, every fall is part of your growth. Don't be afraid to stumble, because falling is not failure. It's a chance to rise stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. The struggle is part of the process of becoming who you're meant to be. Life can often feel like a series of uncertainties, each step leading you into unknown territory. It's easy to get overwhelmed by this uncertainty and feel like you're walking through fog, unsure of where you're headed or what direction you should take. We're all familiar with the feeling of being lost, whether it's in our careers, relationships, personal growth, or even in our sense of self. It's that nagging feeling of not knowing where to go or what to do next, of questioning whether we're on the right path or wondering if we'll ever find our way. But here's the thing you need to understand: uncertainty is not a barrier. It's a challenge that calls upon the one quality that every successful person relies on, whether they realize it or not: resilience. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. It's the ability to face adversity, bounce back, and keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned. Resilience is often described as mental toughness, but it's far more than just being strong when things get tough. It's a mindset, a way of thinking that allows you to not just survive through uncertainty, but to thrive in it. Resilience is about embracing the discomfort of the unknown, navigating through it, and finding strength in the process. It's about having the courage to keep going when the path ahead seems unclear, and the determination to persevere when you feel lost. When you face uncertainty, whether it's a difficult decision or a major life change, there are two options. You can either succumb to the feeling of being lost, allowing it to paralyze you, or you can rise above it, use it as fuel, and press on. The difference lies in resilience, the ability to adapt, endure, and ultimately emerge stronger from life's challenges. Resilience doesn't mean you won't experience moments of doubt, fear, or confusion. It doesn't mean that you won't sometimes feel overwhelmed or incapable of moving forward. What resilience offers is the ability to acknowledge these feelings, but not to be defined by them. It's about accepting that uncertainty is part of the journey, and that feeling lost doesn't mean you're failing. In fact, it's often the first step toward discovering something greater than you can even imagine. Uncertainty is something we all experience at different points in our lives. Sometimes it's the result of a significant event, the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or a sudden change in health. At other times, uncertainty can creep up quietly, like a shadow. When you realize that your life is not where you thought it would be at this stage, you find yourself asking questions like, am I where I'm supposed to be? Or what happens now? There's an unsettling feeling that arises when you don't have clear answers, and it can be easy to start feeling like you've lost your way. But the reality is, being uncertain doesn't mean you're lost. It simply means you're in the process of discovering what's next. The key to navigating that process lies in your ability to build and maintain resilience. Resilience is forged in the fire of uncertainty. Think about some of the toughest moments in your life. What got you through those moments? It wasn't the certainty of knowing what was going to happen next. It wasn't having all the answers or knowing that the road ahead was going to be easy. No, it was your ability to keep going. It was your refusal to quit. Even when you weren't sure what would happen, you chose to keep moving forward, even if it was just one step at a time. That's the essence of resilience, the decision to continue, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. There are times when uncertainty will seem overwhelming. You might feel as though the future is full of fog, and you can't see where the road will lead. In these moments, it's easy to let fear take over. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of making the wrong choice. These fears can cause you to freeze, to stand still and do nothing, because you're too afraid to take a step in the wrong direction. But this is where resilience steps in. Resilience doesn't allow you to be paralyzed by fear. It allows you to acknowledge the fear, but still take that first step forward. Even if you're unsure of where you're going, you keep moving. And with each step, the fog starts to lift. With each action, no matter how small, you start to gain clarity. That's the power of resilience. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about moving forward despite not having all the answers. Uncertainty also challenges you to become comfortable with discomfort. You see, most of us like certainty because it gives us a sense of control. When we know what's coming next, we feel secure, like we're in charge of our own lives. But life isn't always predictable, and that's where resilience comes in. Resilience teaches you that discomfort is part of the process, that feeling uneasy is not a sign that something is wrong, but a sign that you're growing. Think about the last time you had to push through something difficult. Maybe it was a tough project at work, a challenging personal situation, or even a physical challenge like a long run or workout. In those moments, there's often a moment of discomfort, a time when you want to stop, to quit, to give up. But resilience tells you that the discomfort is temporary. It's a sign that you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, that you're pushing the limits of what you thought you were capable of. And when you push through that discomfort, you emerge stronger. When you're facing uncertainty, resilience also requires patience. We live in a world that's constantly pushing us toward instant gratification. We want answers right now. We want results immediately. But life doesn't always work that way. Sometimes we have to wait. Sometimes the path isn't immediately clear, and we have to trust that the answers will come in time. Resilience doesn't rush the process. It understands that growth takes time, and that the journey is just as important as the destination. You don't have to have all the answers right now. The key is to stay committed to keep moving, and to trust that the clarity you seek will reveal itself in its own time. One of the most important aspects of resilience is the ability to learn from setbacks. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't go according to plan, when you face obstacles or encounter failure. It's natural to feel like you're not getting anywhere, like you're stuck in a rut. But resilience teaches you that failure is not the end. In fact, failure is often a powerful teacher. Every time you fall, you learn. Every time you face a challenge, you gain experience, and each experience is one step closer to success. The key is to not give up, to not let setbacks define you. Instead, learn from them. Use them as stepping stones. Embrace them as part of your growth. When you approach life with resilience, setbacks become opportunities to learn and grow stronger, not signs that you're on the wrong path. Resilience also means taking responsibility for your life, even when things are uncertain. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances when things aren't going well. You might tell yourself that it's the economy or the job market or the people around you who are holding you back. But resilience teaches you that while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond to what happens to you. You are responsible for your actions, for the choices you make, and for how you handle adversity. When you take full ownership of your journey, even in uncertain times, you reclaim your power. You realize that you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the one who decides how you respond to life's challenges. So the next time you find yourself feeling lost, uncertain, or overwhelmed, remember that resilience is the key to overcoming those feelings. Embrace the discomfort of the unknown, take that first step, and trust that the path will become clearer as you move forward. Life will always have its challenges. There will always be uncertainty. But resilience gives you the strength to keep going, no matter how tough things get. It's what will carry you through the hardest times and help you emerge stronger and more confident on the other side. And above all, resilience teaches you that being lost is not a permanent state, it's just a phase. And with resilience, you'll find your way again. We all face moments in life where we feel like we're not making progress, where we can't see the results of our efforts, and we begin to doubt whether we're on the right path. Sometimes it feels like we're running in place, or worse, like we're moving backward. It's in these moments when the progress is not immediately visible that it becomes crucial to remember one simple truth: trust the process. Trusting the process is one of the most powerful tools for overcoming adversity and achieving long-term success. It is the belief that even though you may not see immediate results or have a clear view of the end goal, the steps you are taking today are building towards something greater. It's a mindset that allows you to keep moving forward, even when the journey feels uncertain or when the results don't come as quickly as you would like. The process may not always look like what you imagined, and sometimes it may not even make sense in the moment, but trust in the idea that each step you take is a necessary part of your journey. The results will come. They always do. This idea of trusting the process is deeply intertwined with the concept of patience. We live in a world that often values instant gratification. We want things now: quick results, fast solutions, immediate feedback. We've become conditioned to expect fast returns on our investments of time and energy. But life doesn't always work this way. In fact, the most meaningful results often require time, effort, and persistence. Trusting the process means giving yourself permission to be patient with that process, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's about understanding that growth isn't always linear. There will be setbacks, pauses, and detours along the way, but that doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're in the process. Let's consider how growth happens. Imagine you're working on a project, whether it's a personal goal, a business venture, or even an artistic endeavor. The first step is always the hardest because it requires taking the leap, deciding to start. Once you begin, you might feel uncertain, and the progress might be slow at first. You might encounter obstacles, or things might not go as smoothly as you hoped. In those moments, you might be tempted to stop, to abandon your efforts, or to take a shortcut to get quicker results. But if you abandon the process prematurely, you lose the opportunity for growth. Success doesn't come from the shortcuts. It comes from sticking with the process, even when it doesn't seem to yield instant results. Think of the process as the foundation for something greater. It's like planting a seed in the ground. You don't plant a seed and immediately expect to see a tree or a fruit-bearing plant. You water it, give it sunlight, and provide the care it needs to grow. Over time, the roots begin to take hold, and the plant begins to sprout. But for the most part, you can't see the progress beneath the surface. Yet you trust that the plant is growing because you know that growth takes time. You don't give up just because the seed hasn't sprouted yet. You continue to nurture it, knowing that the results will come. Life's process is the same. The work you're doing today, whether it's in your career, your relationships, your personal development, or any other aspect of your life, is like planting those seeds. You may not always see immediate growth, but trust that the effort you put in will eventually pay off. Each day of hard work, even when it feels small or insignificant, is another step closer to the success you seek. Trusting the process means believing that each step is important, even when the results aren't immediately visible. One of the biggest challenges to trusting the process is the feeling of uncertainty. We like to know what's ahead of us. We want a clear roadmap, a guarantee that if we put in the work, we will get the results we expect. But life is unpredictable. We can't control every variable, and sometimes the process takes unexpected turns. These moments of uncertainty are where faith and trust come into play. Trusting the process doesn't mean you have complete control over everything that happens. It means accepting that uncertainty is a part of life and learning how to navigate it with patience and perseverance. It's also essential to understand that the process involves failure. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. In fact, failure is often the most important part of the process. Without failure, there is no growth. When things don't go as planned, we learn. We learn about ourselves, about our limitations, and about how to improve. Trusting the process means understanding that failure is a temporary setback, not a permanent roadblock. Every time you fail, you learn something new, you refine your approach, adjust your strategy, and improve. Success doesn't come from avoiding failure, it comes from learning how to fail forward. Trusting the process is also about learning to be present in the journey. So often we focus so much on the end goal that we forget to appreciate the journey itself. We set our sights on the destination, imagining the moment when we finally make it. And in doing so, we overlook the small victories along the way. But the process is where the magic happens. It's where we gain the experience, knowledge, and wisdom that will prepare us for the challenges ahead. When we're too focused on the end result, we miss the lessons and the growth happening right in front of us. Trusting the process means embracing the journey with all its ups and downs and appreciating the progress you've made so far, even if it doesn't always look like much in the moment. Take the example of someone pursuing a fitness goal. At first, the workouts are tough and the progress is slow. It feels like there's no immediate transformation, and it can be discouraging. The temptation is to give up or to compare yourself to others who seem to be progressing faster. But if you trust the process and keep showing up, even on the days when it's hard, you will start to notice small changes. You'll feel stronger. You'll see improvements in your stamina. Your confidence will grow, and over time, the transformation will become visible. But it all begins with trusting that the process, no matter how slow or difficult it seems at first, will eventually lead to the results you desire. The same principle applies to any area of life, whether it's building a career, developing relationships, or achieving personal growth. Trusting the process means acknowledging that success takes time, that results are built on consistent effort, and that there will be periods of frustration and doubt. The key is to not let those moments of uncertainty cause you to quit. Trust that every effort, every failure, every small victory is a part of the larger picture, even if you can't see it yet. Another aspect of trusting the process is letting go of the need for perfection. Perfection is an illusion. No one is perfect, no process is perfect, and no one's journey will look like anyone else's. We tend to compare ourselves to others, especially with social media, where everyone's success seems to be on display for the world to see. It's easy to look at someone else's seemingly perfect life and feel like we're falling short. But trust the process means understanding that everyone's path is unique. Your journey is your own, and it's not going to look like someone else's. Embrace the imperfections, the bumps in the road, and the detours. They are all part of your individual story. and they are all leading you to where you need to be. In the end, trusting the process requires faith in yourself, in the work you're doing, and in the idea that the universe, life, or whatever higher power you believe in is guiding you towards something greater. It means letting go of the need for immediate results and allowing the process to unfold naturally. It means having patience and perseverance, even when things don't seem to be moving as quickly as you'd like. Trusting the process isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Because when you trust the process, you're allowing yourself the freedom to grow, learn, and evolve. And in doing so, you're positioning yourself to experience the success you've always dreamed of. So keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Trust the process, and the results will come. Fear and doubt, two of the most powerful forces that can hold us back from reaching our full potential. They lurk in the background of our minds, whispering insidious messages that tell us we're not good enough, not capable enough, not worthy of success. They cast shadows over our dreams and goals, convincing us that we should play it safe, that we should settle for mediocrity, and that the risks are too great. But here's the truth: fear and doubt are lies. They don't have the power to stop you unless you let them. They are not truth, they are just obstacles in the mind that, when confronted and overcome, lose their power and influence over our lives. Fear is a natural emotion designed to protect us from harm. It's an evolutionary tool that alerts us to potential dangers. But fear, when it's not understood or managed, can become an overbearing presence in our lives. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, these are the fears that stop us from taking risks, stepping outside of our comfort zones, and pursuing our true potential. Fear feeds on uncertainty and exaggerates the worst possible outcomes. It convinces us that the worst-case scenario is not just possible, but probable, even though most of the time it's far from the truth. The key to overcoming fear is realizing that it is not a reflection of reality. Fear can feel overwhelming, and it can seem like the safest option is to avoid it altogether, to stay in your comfort zone, to keep doing what you've always done. But this is where fear deceives us. It tells us that avoiding discomfort will keep us safe. But what it really does is keep us stagnant. It convinces us that the best way to avoid pain is by playing small, by staying in the background, by not pushing ourselves to grow. And when we buy into that lie, we deprive ourselves of the opportunities to create the life we truly desire. Doubt is another lie that often goes hand in hand with fear. It's the voice in your head that questions your abilities, your worth, and your potential. It tells you that you're not capable of achieving your goals, that you don't have the talent, the experience, or the knowledge to succeed. Doubt convinces you that you'll fail before you even start. It undermines your confidence and paralyzes you with indecision. But just like fear, doubt is not the truth. Doubt is a self-imposed limitation. It's not a reflection of your actual capabilities, but rather a reflection of your insecurity or lack of belief in yourself. It's a lie you tell yourself to justify inaction. The truth is, you are more capable than you think. You have untapped potential inside of you that has not yet been realized. Every time you allow fear and doubt to control your decisions, you're choosing to believe in a false narrative. You're accepting the idea that you are limited when, in reality, you have the power to create, to innovate, and to overcome obstacles in your path. Fear and doubt are only as powerful as you allow them to be. They only control you if you allow them to dictate your thoughts and actions. To truly break free from the grip of fear and doubt, you must first confront them. You must look them in the eye and call them for what they are: lies. When fear arises, ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Often, when we examine our fears closely, we realize they are exaggerated or based on assumptions. Fear of failure often stems from the fear of judgment or rejection, but in reality, failure is simply part of the process of growth. It is not a final verdict on your worth or your abilities. It's a stepping stone that provides invaluable lessons. When we shift our perspective and see failure not as a devastating outcome, but as an opportunity for growth, the fear of failure loses its power. Doubt is much the same. When doubt creeps in and whispers, you're not good enough, ask yourself, what evidence do I have to support this belief? In most cases, the answer is none. You have likely achieved things in your life before, overcome challenges, and succeeded in ways you may have forgotten. Doubt focuses on your perceived limitations, while your true potential lies beyond those limitations. The best way to combat doubt is by taking action, no matter how small. Every step you take toward your goal is evidence that you are capable. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that doubt is a lie. One of the most effective ways to overcome fear and doubt is by developing a mindset of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the ability to take action despite fear. Courage means acknowledging that fear is present, but not letting it dictate your decisions. Courage means moving forward, even when you're unsure of the outcome, trusting that your ability to adapt, learn, and grow will carry you through any challenges. Courage comes from understanding that fear and doubt are not insurmountable obstacles, they are simply part of the human experience. Everyone feels fear. Everyone experiences doubt. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is the ability to move through those feelings and take action anyway. To cultivate courage, it's helpful to start by taking small risks. Start by stepping outside of your comfort zone in little ways. Every time you do something that scares you, you chip away at the power that fear and doubt have over you. These small steps build your confidence, and over time, you'll begin to see that you can handle the discomfort that comes with growth. Each victory, no matter how small, will reinforce the truth that fear and doubt do not define you. You are defined by your ability to act in spite of them. Another key to overcoming fear and doubt is surrounding yourself with people who believe in you. When we're feeling uncertain, it's easy to fall into negative thought patterns and allow fear to control us. But the right support system can help you break free from those lies. Find people who encourage you, challenge you, and remind you of your strengths. The energy of those who believe in you will help push you through moments of doubt, and their perspective can offer valuable insights when fear is clouding your judgment. Additionally, it's essential to create a practice of self-compassion. Fear and doubt often arise when we are too hard on ourselves, when we expect perfection or believe that we must always have everything figured out. This mindset sets us up for failure before we even start. Instead, practice being kind to yourself, especially in moments of uncertainty. Acknowledge that it's okay to be afraid, to have doubts, and to not have all the answers. What matters is that you keep moving forward anyway. When you show yourself compassion, you allow yourself the space to grow without the pressure of needing to be perfect. Affirmations and visualization techniques can also be incredibly powerful tools to combat fear and doubt. Affirmations are positive statements that reinforce the truth about who you are and what you're capable of. By repeating affirmations like "I am worthy of success," "I have the skills to succeed," or "I am capable of overcoming challenges," you reprogram your mind to focus on your strengths instead of your fears. Visualization, on the other hand, involves imagining yourself achieving your goals and experiencing success. When you visualize the outcome you desire, you create a mental blueprint that your subconscious mind begins to work toward. This practice helps replace the negative, fear-based thoughts with empowering beliefs that guide you toward your goals. It's important to recognize that fear and doubt often arise when we're on the verge of something significant, when we're about to take a big step forward in our lives. This is when fear is most active, when we're on the edge of growth. These emotions are not signs that we should turn back, they are signs that we're on the right path. Fear and doubt show up when we're about to push past our limits, when we're about to break through to the next level. So instead of letting fear stop you, use it as a signal that you are about to experience something powerful. At the end of the day, fear and doubt are simply a reflection of the mind's tendency to focus on what could go wrong. But what if we trained our minds to focus on what could go right? What if we chose to believe in our abilities instead of doubting them? What if we chose courage over fear and action over hesitation? The truth is, when you stop listening to the lies of fear and doubt, you open the door to endless possibilities. You unlock your potential. You realize that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is your willingness to face those fears head on and continue moving forward. You have everything you need to succeed. The only thing holding you back is the lie that you are not capable. Fear and doubt are not your truth. They are merely distractions trying to keep you from realizing your potential. When you stop believing in those lies, you'll start to see the truth of who you really are, a powerful, capable individual with everything you need to create the life you desire. Growth is rarely a smooth, straight path. It is often marked by struggles, setbacks, and challenges that test our resilience and push us to our limits. And yet it is in those very struggles that true growth happens. Far too often we shy away from challenges, believing that a life of ease would bring us happiness and fulfillment. But the reality is, growth isn't something that comes from comfort, it comes from discomfort, from the struggles that force us to dig deeper, push harder, and become more than we were before. The truth is that growth through struggles is not only inevitable, but essential. It is through the trials and tribulations of life that we discover our true strength, our resilience, and our capacity for change. When we face struggles, they often feel like obstacles standing in our way, hindrances to our success, or painful experiences that we simply want to avoid. It's natural to want to avoid pain, to seek the path of least resistance. But when we do so, we miss out on the opportunities that struggle offers us. Struggles are not just roadblocks, they are teachers. They are opportunities for growth, evolution, and transformation. Growth through struggle is not just about enduring pain, it's about using that pain to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. The first thing we must understand is that struggles are a part of life. They are an inevitable component of our human experience. No one escapes the pain of struggle, whether it comes in the form of loss, failure, rejection, or disappointment. These experiences are not to be avoided or feared. In fact, if we understand them as a necessary part of growth, we can change our entire relationship with hardship. Struggles don't define us, they refine us. It's in these moments of difficulty that we uncover aspects of ourselves we never knew existed. Think about a time in your life when you faced a challenge. Perhaps it was a personal struggle, a career setback, or a moment of deep uncertainty. In that moment, it probably felt like the world was falling apart. The pain, the frustration, the feelings of inadequacy, all of it might have felt like too much to bear. But looking back now, do you see how that struggle shaped you? Do you see how you grew as a person, how you developed new skills, perspectives, and strengths that you didn't have before? The truth is, we don't grow in the easy times. We grow when we're pushed beyond our limits, when we're forced to confront our weaknesses, and when we have to rise above adversity. Growth through struggle is like the process of forging metal. In order to create something strong, the metal must first be heated to an intense temperature and then hammered into shape. It must endure the pain of the forge before it becomes the weapon or tool it's meant to be. The same is true for us. We are shaped by the struggles we face. They don't break us, they make us stronger. Each time we overcome a challenge, we gain a new layer of strength, understanding, and resilience. It's a process that refines us and prepares us for even greater challenges ahead. But there's an important piece to this equation. We have to be willing to embrace the struggle. Too often we fight against the pain, the discomfort, and the uncertainty of difficult situations. We wish that things were easier, that we didn't have to go through the hardship. But what if we changed our perspective? What if we embraced the struggle, seeing it as an opportunity rather than an obstacle? What if we looked at hardship not as a punishment, but as a necessary part of our journey? The first step to embracing growth through struggles is to shift our mindset. We must stop viewing struggles as negative experiences to avoid and start seeing them as growth opportunities. This shift requires us to acknowledge that discomfort is part of the process. We cannot expect to grow if we are not willing to step outside of our comfort zones. If we want to grow stronger, smarter, more capable, we must be willing to face the challenges that life presents us with. One of the key aspects of this mindset shift is reframing our approach to failure. Failure is often one of the most difficult struggles to face, and yet it is one of the most important for growth. We live in a society that often glorifies success and stigmatizes failure. As a result, many people fear failure more than anything else. They worry that failure means they are not good enough, that they are not capable, or that they are not worthy of success. But in reality, failure is simply feedback. It's a signal that we are pushing ourselves beyond our limits, testing new boundaries, and striving for something greater. Failure is not the end, it is the beginning of a new chapter. Every failure contains the seeds of growth and improvement. Every time we fail, we learn. We gain valuable lessons that prepare us for the next challenge. We develop resilience, problem-solving skills, and adaptability that will serve us in the future. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who have never failed, they are the ones who have learned how to fail and keep moving forward. They understand that failure is not an indication of their worth or abilities, but a stepping stone on the path to success. And when they fail, they don't give up. They use it as an opportunity to grow. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? And then they get back up and try again. Growth through struggle requires the same mindset. It requires us to view failure not as an obstacle, but as a necessary part of the process. Another important aspect of embracing growth through struggles is cultivating perseverance. Struggles are not quick fixes. They are not solved overnight. In fact, some struggles may last much longer than we anticipate. There will be times when progress seems slow, and it will feel like nothing is changing. But this is when perseverance becomes essential. Perseverance is the ability to keep going, even when the road ahead seems long and uncertain. It's the strength to keep showing up day after day, even when you don't see immediate results. Perseverance is what allows you to keep moving forward in the face of adversity, knowing that every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goal. Perseverance is not just about physical endurance, it's about mental and emotional stamina as well. There will be moments when the struggles feel overwhelming, when you question whether it's worth it, when you doubt your ability to keep going. But it is in those moments that perseverance truly counts. When you push through the hard times, when you keep going, even when it feels like the odds are against you, you build mental toughness and emotional strength. This is where true growth happens. It's easy to quit when things get tough. It takes courage, commitment, and perseverance to keep going. But it's that very perseverance that leads to transformation. As you continue to face struggles, remember that each one is building you into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient person. It's easy to become discouraged when progress is slow, when the struggles seem endless. But remember that growth is not linear. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns. But every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Every struggle you encounter is shaping you, preparing you for what's to come. It may not always feel like it in the moment, but every experience, every setback, and every hardship is contributing to your growth. One of the most profound truths about growth through struggles is that it is often through hardship that we discover our true strength. We often don't know what we're capable of until we're faced with a challenge that pushes us to our limits. When we face difficulty, we tap into parts of ourselves we never knew existed. We discover a level of resilience, creativity, and determination that was always within us, but hidden beneath the surface. Struggles bring out the best in us. They force us to dig deep, to tap into our inner strength, and to push through adversity. In the end, the struggles you face in life are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. They are shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without adversity, there is no strength. And without facing the challenges that life presents, we would never discover the full extent of our potential. Embracing growth through struggles means accepting that life is not always going to be easy. It means understanding that challenges are not signs that you're on the wrong path, but signs that you're on the right one. It means learning to see struggles as opportunities to grow, to evolve, and to become stronger. The next time you face a challenge, don't shy away from it. Don't let it defeat you. Embrace it. Use it as fuel for your growth. You are stronger than you think, and every struggle you overcome is a testament to the power within you.